Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Brilliant as the Sun, retelling of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Divine Protection. We'll be reading from chapter 11, Vritra, the demon devotee. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhaite girim, yat kripatamam bande, Shri Gurum Din Tarinam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chaitanyeshwaram, Hari Om Tat Sat. Verse 1. You stay and die if you like, I am gone, yelled Namochi as he pushed past Vritra. Right, why should we sacrifice our lives to avenge your brother, said Shambhara. Surrender, Vritra, Maya called out. Time is favoring the enemy today. This is not how heroes talk, my brothers, pleaded Vritra, but his words fell on deaf ears. The entire demon army, along with all its generals, was fleeing in a panic. Verses 2 to 3, Indra turned to his chief commanders. Pursue them, spare no one. Today we will annihilate the demon races. Chandra hesitated. My lord, it is against religious principles to kill fleeing unarmed men. They pose no further threat to us. Let them go. Indra turned on him fiercely. These demons are always a thorn in my side. Lifting his arm, he shouted, attack, attack, show no mercy. Vritra alone faced the enemy, weapons in hand. The gods circumvented him to chase those who fled, cutting them down in their thousands from behind. Seeing his friends and family hunted down like animals infuriated Vritra. Verses 4 and 5. O gods, why are you killing these cowardly demons? He thundered. Lacking courage, they are no better than their mother's stool. If you were truly heroes, you would not kill from behind frightened men as they flee. Such killing is inglorious, and it will not promote you to the higher planets in your next lives, insignificant gods. If you are actually powerful and noble heroes, then stand before me for a moment. Verses 6 to 8, Vritra rushed toward the gods, roaring in fury. Seeing him descend on them like an enormous lion and hearing his terrifying war cry, the god soldiers fainted and fell as if struck by thunderbolts. The entire earth trembled as Vritra, trident in hand, trampled the enemy soldiers underfoot. He looked like a mad elephant in a forest of dry bamboos. Verse 9. The surviving soldiers ran toward Indra. Lord, save us. When Indra saw Vritra single-handedly routing his army, he became furious. How dare he defy my power, he snarled. The god hurled a terrific club. Difficult to resist, it hurled towards Vritra's chest, but he deftly caught it with his left hand even as he continued to run toward Indra. Verses 10 and 11. Leaping into the air with the club raised above his head, he landed before Indra and smashed the club onto Airavat's head. Indra's elephant screeched in pain. Blood spouted from his broken mouth. It staggered back 14 yards and then fell with Indra still on its back. Soldiers from both sides gaped in wonderment. What valor, they exclaimed. The demon soldiers cheered. Kill him, show no mercy. Verse 12. Vritra lowered his weapon. Heroes never attack a fallen, injured and despondent foe. Unlike this wretch, I fight according to religious principles. Indra rose shakily to his feet and examined Airavat, who was bellowing in pain. He stroked the elephant's injuries, releasing a healing nectar from his hand. He spoke reassuringly, fear not, mighty one, you will soon recover. All the soldiers stopped fighting and watched to see what would happen. Finally, Airavat struggled to its feet. Its injuries healed. Indra, thunderbolt in hand, turned towards Vritra, unsure of what to do next. Verses 13 and 14, Vritra laughed. Just see, here is the sinful wretch who killed my brother, who was a Brahmin and his own spiritual master. Now by some good fortune, he faces me as my enemy. O most abominable one, I shall be free of my debt to my brother when I pierce your stone-like heart with my trident. Vritra stared at Indra with coppery red eyes. Verses 15 to 17. O vile one, how did you bring yourself to kill a self-realized, sinless and qualified Brahmin, your spiritual master and chief priest who was performing sacrifices for your benefit? Out of your greed to live in heaven, you mercilessly beheaded him. Indra, you have no shame, no mercy, glory or good fortune. The sinful reactions accrued from killing my brother have robbed you of all good qualities. Even the Rakshasas condemn you. After you die a painful death, pierced by my trident, the vultures will eat you, as even fire will refuse to touch you. You are cruel by nature, Indra. If unaware of my great prowess, the other gods try to protect you, I shall also sever their heads and offer them to Lord Shiva and his ghostly followers. Verse 18. If, however, you somehow kill my soldiers and cut off my head, then I shall take great pleasure knowing that my body will be food for the vultures and dogs. Such a death will free me of my karmic reactions, and I will become eligible to receive the association of great devotees like Narad. Loud applause rose from the soldiers and commanders on both sides. Vritra is indeed a great hero. He has no fear of death. Indra remained frozen to the spot, his weapon dangling in his hand by his side and his head cast down. He did not want to die. It seemed Vritra would not attack him while he was unwilling to fight, but he would surely kill him if he engaged in combat. Verse 19. Vritra again called out, Come, Indra, fight, hurl your weapon upon me. Why hesitate? Fear not, your thunderbolt is superior to your club. It will not fail to find its mark. Verses 20 and 21. Seeing Indra still holding back, Vritra said, O King of Heaven, do you not remember that your thunderbolt has been empowered by Vishnu's Shakti and the strength of the Dichi's austerities? Why do you vacillate? Did Lord Vishnu not instruct you to kill me? Since he is on your side and desires your victory, you will surely slay me in battle and protect your material opulence. I will go back to Godhead since I have fixed my mind on Lord Sankarshan. Indra shouted back, What if, satisfied with your devotion, Lord Sankarshan makes you king of heaven? Verse 22. Vritra laughed, You and I are devotees of the same Lord. He will give us both what we desire. We want material wealth and enjoyment. You want material wealth and enjoyment, but I, who am completely devoted to him, want only to satisfy him. He does not give devotees like me worldly affluence, which simply contaminates one with feelings of pride, fear, enmity, and anger. To secure wealth, one must struggle hard, and if later he loses it, he is miserable. Unlike you, I am not interested in this kind of benediction. From Narayan, verse 23. Have you never heard our Lord's merciful instructions? Do you not know that he advises his devotees not to practice religion in order to gain wealth, sense gratification, and liberation? Such admonitions are Narayan's mercy, which people like you ignore, but pure devotees like me heed. Indra gazed at Vritra, but still did not raise his weapon. Vritra shook his head. How could he convince Indra to fight? Finally, he prayed to Krishna to help him. As soon as he made this resolve, Narayan appeared in his mind. Verse 24. Vritra went down on his knees and placed both palms together. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality, your lotus feet are the only shelter of your eternal servants. Will I ever again be able to serve such servants of yours? O my Lord, I only desire that my mind always think of your transcendental qualities, my words always glorify you, and my body only engage in your loving service. Narayan replied, So all could hear, my dear devotee, take from me whatever you want, including the heavens or even liberation. Verse 25. Vritra shook his head. No, Lord, I do not want such benedictions. I know you can give anything, including elevation to Dhruvalok and Brahmalok, rulership over all the planetary systems, mastery of all the mystic powers, and liberation from the material bondage. But my heart burns to be with you. Nothing else will satisfy me. Verse 26. O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds always look for their mother to return and feed them, as small calves tied with ropes await anxiously the time of milking when they can drink their mother's milk, or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return, I yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. Vritra bowed his head. How could he, a wicked demon, expect Krishna to accept him as his eternal servants? Verse 27, tears streamed down his face. My Lord, O Master, I wander this world because of my own sins. I only pray for the company of your pure-hearted devotees. Please free me from attachment to my body, wife, children, and home, caused by the influence of your illusory energy. Please let my mind and intelligence be fully attached to you only. So we'll continue with chapter 12 next time, Prithra's glorious death. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.